Trash Talk Radio, coming at you live on MP3 from high on a hill above beautiful Lake Washington. My name is Lestro, and with me, as always, is the Guru.
Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir.
And you know how this goes. We're here to talk a little trash on the week's worth of sports. I don't know anybody except the Guru, and the Guru knows all.
Man, you know, I know just a little something, man. Just a little something, man.
Guru, it is episode number 67, and the Super Bowl is set, as we got treated at not one but two overtime games on Championship Sunday. But was the fix in? Guru's got your breakdowns of both games. First, in the Superdome, a terrible no-call seemed to take a sure thing away for Drew Brees, Sean Payton, and the Saints as Jared Goff and the Rams stormed back from a big early deficit to advance. Then, out in Arrowhead, the calls seemed to go Bill Belichick and Tom Brady's way, again, as the Pats downed Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes with good old-fashioned power football and defense. We're going to take a look at those games. We're going to take a look ahead. Then, in segment 2, you know we've got the call-outs and shout-outs. We've got our Bets with Ben segment with Ben Carey from thecurrencykings.com. We've got a 2-minute drill. Guru, episode number 67.
Let's roll.
All right, man, how are you doing? It's good to see you.
Man, I'm living the dream, man. Don't you pinch me, man. Don't you pinch me.
Exciting weekend of football, Guru. Exciting weekend of football. 2 overtime games. We've never seen that in a Championship Sunday before. First time ever both championship games go into overtime. Mm-hmm. You must have been having a blast with that, man.
Oh, mercy. What did it say? Oh, mercy. Mercy, Olago. Oh, mercy, who made me. All right. I'm talking about we had an extra quarter of free football. We basically combined, we had an extra half of free playoff football. That's premium football. Ain't nothing like that damn NFL. Ain't nothing like the Shield, baby. Get that check, Shield, because we just giving it to you, baby. We giving you that check.
You know, I got to say, this was everything the NFL could have hoped for on both of these games. They both went into overtime on late comebacks to send it to overtime. They were back and forth battles all the way through. And then the Rams, LA Rams, and the New England Patriots come out on top in both of them. This looks to me like the perfect setup for the NFL, Guru. I was thinking through this one with the no call in, which you know we're going to get to, the no call in New Orleans and the and some of the questionable calls out there in Arrowhead, some roughing the passers that I didn't really see. Mm-hmm. I thought the fix was in on this one, so I just want to let's get right to it. Guru, I thought the fix was in on some of these, man.
See, I could see where that is because you know the Guru always look at things in a higher scape level in a sense, you know. I'll just put the G on the business hat on because I like to come in from a business perspective.
Right, you take a big picture look at this at where the money is.
Where the money, because at the end of the day, you know, the fandom get fooled by what the NFL is. It's a business that have a product.
Right, don't forget.
It's all about a product.
Yeah.
The product is not a Super Bowl. No. You know, that's just part of the overall aspect of what they want to do in the product. So with that said, there's a certain investment in the city of Los Angeles that the NFL is really doing. They're not going to put in public. We all know you're investing in the market. When you look at it, you could Google this, you know. Everybody got Google right now. Go to the internet, utilize Google or any other search engine. Hey, I like Yahoo too. Send that check. Google, you can send that check. Use search engines because I don't want people to be like the Google only like the Google check.
Right. Use whatever. Everyone. Yahoo, send a check. Yeah. Ask Jeeves if you're still around. Send a check.
Everyone.
Anybody.
Send a check.
Go ahead.
Go ask somebody.
We'll take it. We'll take it.
But anyhow, it's just that it's the biggest market. When you look at this game, right? The two biggest market was the biggest market is New York, obviously, in LA.
Right.
And now you
have ain't no way a New York team was making this.
Exactly. So then you get LA. So that's an investment. And then also you got basically like depending on what you want, you see between 7 to 10, but Boston, but they solidified top 10.
Yeah.
So you have 2 top 10 market right now. What the NFL is for profit organization now, versus going against the what I saw like Kansas City, Middle America, probably in the 40th, and New Orleans in the 50th.
Yeah,
as
no
far
one
as the market.
no one cares.
No
And
one cares.
that's the other thing. Even at least with Brady and the Patriots in New England, you also get a brand. You get a recognizable brand. We know them. They're at this point they're the Yankees. They are the team America loves to hate. This is good. Like 98% of the country is apparently going to be rooting for the Rams.
This is what I think. And this you might think the guru's doing his little guru shit and going crazy again, right?
I love the guru shit. Bring it on.
It's kind of funny, right? Because it's a big matchup going right now as far as the pro league between the NBA and the NFL. Major, because the NBA is catching grits.
Stealing their thunder.
I'm talking about it is doing it like a mofo, right?
Yeah.
So now the NBA, basically the NFL moved to LA, right? Right, just 2 teams in LA, right? They invested in LA.
Right. Had nothing in LA for like 20, 25 years.
Yes.
All of a sudden, 2 teams.
Invested, right?
Boom.
So boom. You're out here in LA.
Building a huge new stadium.
And then you know what? That's one of the big market, right? And then you know what the NBA wanted to do, how the NBA countered that? And this you might think is a guruism, right? Somehow the king, right? The king of all the biggest person in the entire NBA that the NBA could compete versus the NFL came to where? LA.
They brought in LeBron James. Yeah.
So then to continue that battle, right? So then the NFL had to counter that battle. So the NFL's like, hold up. So you know what? We got the pretty boy coach that looks good on the eyes,
Everybody loves him.
Everybody loves him.
Everybody loves
You
him.
have the local kid who's a California-born quarterback, California chill guy, went to Cal, just fits the whole profile, right? Playing now obviously in the biggest game that the NFL could brag about, that the NBA can't. Because the NBA could take some viewers, but it will never overtake the Super Bowl.
No, it'll never be the Super Bowl. You'll never get that advertising dollars either.
And so who gets the first dabs? The NFL get that first major LA hit with this Super Bowl, having a team going. And coincidentally, look, the NBA counter, right? Because the NBA basically want to set up LA versus Boston finals
or
in the
Philly
future.
or Philly.
Basically, let's be real. What does the NBA want? What is the market?
NBA wants Boston.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening in the NFL. What's happening in the Super Bowl?
Previews.
Exactly.
LA, Boston.
Kudos, NFL, for taking a little over the NBA. I see what you're doing, Roger. I see you, Goodell, NFL. I see your little secret Mason society out there talking about the gurus on conspiracy theory. No, it's a battle for viewership, man.
Right.
It's an entertainment industry. It's not a Super Bowl championship industry. It's about entertainment, dog.
Yeah, I'll tell you,
I'm not a football expert.
He may not be a football expert, but the man is a business expert. He got the money. Because just by putting these 2 teams in, you get LA, the second biggest market in the country, which you said. You throw them into the advertising mix on a Super Bowl dollars, those spots just got more expensive. With LA in there and the Patriots in there, those spots are worth more money than either New Orleans or Kansas City is going to bring. So let's get into it then, because one of the big questions about this is the tip-off on this is the no call, the pass interference no call toward the end of the game down there in the Superdome where Michael Thomas gets clocked.
Not Michael Thomas. No,
not Michael Thomas.
Tommy Lee Lewis.
Oh, my bad. Tommy Lee Lewis gets clocked at the down there towards the end zone. Clear pass interference. Helmet to helmet.
Michael Thomas, they would have called it.
Yeah, you're probably right. That's a good point. Clear helmet to helmet contact. Clearly before the ball got there, knocked him down. Pass interference. First down. Saints run down the clock, kick a field goal. Game over. Instead, no call. Now the Saints lose the ball. It goes back to the Rams to give them a chance to take it all the way down to tie the game and send it to overtime. Mm-hmm. Guru, what did you think when you saw this? And should this have mattered anyway? Because let's be honest, the Saints left a ton of points on the field here.
Now, we're finished with the conspiracy.
Okay, it's conspiracy first. Okay, yeah.
Let's go to what the other guys want to listen to now.
Okay, so we're gonna just say that with the fix, looks like it was in. However, there was a game, too. This happened late in the game, and even then, no matter what you got to say, there was an overtime. They got to kick. Steve Zerline kicks that from 154 yards to get that field goal to win that game. I'm telling you, Guru, that kick would have been good from 75. That is a weapon in 2 weeks. But
the Leginator.
Woo! I tell you what, Greg the Leg just killing it. So anyway,
Nebraska, Lincoln, Nebraska, stand up, Greg, man. Nebraska, the man. He's from Lincoln, Nebraska, man.
Is he?
Gotta give a shout out, man. Nicest people in the world, man.
Okay. I believe you. So let's talk about the game here, because this game, did the Saints lose this game, or did the refs take it from? Did the Rams win this game, or
There's two things that happened in this game. All right, that I would say the Saints. It was two things happened. The Saints won the game. The Saints lost the game, and the Rams won the game.
Both.
Yes.
Now, the Saints, early on, they went up on a 13-0 lead and couldn't hold on to it. But the truth is that they should have had way more points than 13 in the beginning of that game.
Absolutely. And there's a big X factor in that game. What I said, what season is this? Is the Cheerio season.
Oh, yeah, X and O season.
X and O season.
Yeah.
So with the X's and O being like that, and the team being a sequel, so there's a familiarity about, seeing each other, seeing the personnel. But there's one person that was different. And his magnitude is huge. It's huge because he is the higher gun for the Rams, and that is 21. Talib.
Aqib Talib. Brought him in the offseason.
Brought him in. He didn't play the first time.
No.
He didn't play the first time. And this time, when he played, they shut down basically the entire passing offense of the Saints, which is Mike T. Mike T, 7 target, 4 reception for 36 yards.
That's not good.
That
last week he looked like a world beater.
Exactly.
Last week he was dominant.
Exactly. So the Rams, Wade Phillips and them, they stopped the run. Ndamukong Suh, came out to play. Ndamukong Suh was balling. He just disrupted every single thing you could think about throughout as far as the running game. So Ndamukong Suh did his job.
Yeah, not a name we heard a lot through the season, but has showed up in the playoffs.
That's what they paid him for.
Yeah, Alvin Kamara, 15 yards.
Absolutely.
Mark Ingram, 31. That is not good.
They stopped the run and also
only had 8 carries and 9 carries respectively.
You can't.
They couldn't do anything.
They stopped the run, which that means they had to be one-dimensional, and that's when Talib did what Talib was there to do, shut down their number one target, and which gave Drew Brees hell. And that's what exactly kind of happened, and that's what the Rams gave them the Rams to come back. The defense held up strong, which gave the Rams opportunity for them to adjust.
Give them a chance to figure it out.
Exactly, to what the Saints were doing with Dennis Allen defensively for them to get adjusted. And obviously, we saw what they did. The Saints, they like to play man-on-man. They love to play man-on-man, and the Rams do a lot of man beaters, which is just a drag play and a lot of pick routes. They're just known for that. Woods is known for that, for just doing a simple drag play and just man beaters. So they're a very difficult team as far as to play man-on-man press against against a Sean McVay type scheme.
So now, how did McVay scheme this offensively to come back? What did they do? Because you look over the numbers, they certainly didn't run it. They couldn't get anything going on the ground either. Todd Gurley had like 10 yards. He had a disappearing act in this game. At least Alvin Kamara came out on the receiving side and made his presence felt, catching the ball from Drew Brees for like 96 yards or something. Gurley was nowhere to be seen in this game. And
C.J. Anderson, man.
C.J.
was balling.
Only had 44, but it looked like a lot more. 16 carries to get that. Goff brings them back at the end of this game, leads them down the field. How did they do this against the New Orleans defense,
man.
which is you love this defense as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. And that boy, I'm going to give it to him, man. That young man, Jared Goff, oh, man, he earned his stripes. He earned what they did. He did some plays, man. He did some plays on that drive, bro. And the Saints, Dennis Allen, I'm talking about, they brought everything on him. And Jared Goff is not known for being mobile, but he just moved enough, dude. And I remember one play was a little play action, bootleg. And freaking, I want to say Cam Jordan I'm talking about heaving down on him. And he made a throw to the tight end, Everett, bro. It was like, it wasn't a normal trajectory. He threw a kind of sidearm, but just that movement, that hands-off of movement. Jared Goff would have made that 2 years ago. That just showed me in that type of atmosphere, in that type of situation, to have the moxie to do that. And he did it repeatedly because Dennis Allen brought it on him. He brought the heat on him. And I was like, you know what? The Guru's going to stamp Jared Goff, man. Jared Goff is stamped because he stood out there. And what did I tell you about the playoff, man? In the regular season, it comes to 1 or 3 plays, right? In the playoff, it comes to one play. One play.
Yep.
And there's one play I'm going to talk about beside the pass interference play that I'm really, really keen about.
Right, because we just have to throw that play out. I mean, let's be honest. The pass interference play could have changed everything, probably changed everything. Timing-wise was terrible. But we got to throw that out and look at the rest of the game, too, because it shouldn't have been that close. It shouldn't have been close enough for the refs to steal this game from Drew Brees and the Saints. It shouldn't have happened anyway. So what's your other play? Is it the fake punt?
No, it's not the fake punt. This is late in the game. I'm talking about the impact-changing plays.
Okay, what do you got?
And this is a play a lot of people won't, some people might talk about this. When they made that big-time throw to Ted Ginn, and when it went to the 2-minute warning, when they had that first down, right? The Saints came out and passed the ball to Michael Thomas, right? And it's in particular, it's not about them passing the ball to Michael Thomas. I want to focus on is the fact that specific play they've used to, and it's a play they use in a goal line. They love that play. The Saints like to use that play in tight situations. And the Rams have a beat on that play. So I was kind of surprised that on a first down, instead of just, running the ball, and instead of now you're playing against the time.
Right.
You're playing against the clock. You're not playing against the Rams. Sean Payton outthought himself. It's simple. Right now, it's not about the Rams. It's not about Sean McVay. It's not about anything else. It's about the clock right now.
Yeah, I don't care what kind of wizard you are calling plays. If you don't get the ball back.
Exactly. It's not about yards.
No.
It's not, and then Sean Payton, to me, is ego. That play right there, if you'd have made it, yes, I would have said the same exact thing. To me, that was an ego play. I am an offensive genius. You guys are going to put this young boy over here and call him the genius? That's his subconscious. You know what, son? I'm the man. Because Sean Payton is known for doing that. He's known for that. He got an ego. That play, that particularly was an ego play because it just so happened that Drew Brees was struggling at that time, going to that in that period. Mike Thomas obviously wasn't doing nothing. So it just, to me, it reminded me similarly to Pete Carroll and that Super Bowl pass. Just was an ego
I'm going to outthink you.
Yes.
Yeah.
That you just, instead of thinking about the team, you thought about your ego. And I think that's why even Sean Payton was pissed off, because now he could blame the pass interference to get him, so people to forget about that big time ego play where he put himself in front of the team.
So we got one more question on this game before we move on then, Guru, I think, and that is we know the Rams are moving on, and they are the young guns and look good and built for success going forward. The Saints, on the other hand, Drew Brees turned 40 this month. They're in a tougher conference. This might have been was this their shot? They've had two just bad beats in a row, man. Last year, the Minnesota Miracle.
The window shot.
Oh, no. That's it?
Yeah, I think so. I think so, man. I don't think Drew is Brady. I think there is still some deficiencies. He's never gonna get taller. Right here, he might be shrinking now. He has more chance.
Old
of
age
shrinking.
setting in.
So and obviously he's playing in the dome, that helps out, and Sean Payton's help out. But it just seemed like there's something there, and they need to do a lot as far as their linebacking core. They got to clean that up, man. They got to get some more athletic players out there that could fit exactly what they want to do as far as just with Dennis Allen as far as their coordinator. They're a pressure team. They want to be a pressure team, so they better get a linebacker that could either come up there and blitz or cover. So.
Yeah, this is the worst part about this beat almost, if you think about it, this is kind of like a legacy killer almost too. That call could cost Drew Brees and Sean Payton like the legacy sort of coaching quarterback kind of thing. Because now they're back to just one. Yeah. This was their chance to get two. Now they're back to just one.
Yeah, and it's going to be hard. And the only reason why, it's not like they won't have the team and talent. It's just the NFC is so freaking, oh my gosh.
Ready to go.
It's doggy dog, man. Yeah. It's doggy dog.
Well, now let's head over to the AFC, where the two best teams all season long were pretty much the Chiefs and the Patriots. This is what we saw coming, getting in here. This was an old school, new school matchup with the quarterbacks. This was the hottest young quarterback in football, most likely MVP candidate against Tom Brady, who's the GOAT, and Bill Belichick coming in. Now the Patriots came at this game a little bit old school, Guru. What did you see in this one?
Dude, I love this. This is when I love Cheerio season, man.
Right.
I love X's and O's season, especially Belichick. He's a genius. And we've been following it all throughout this season. All throughout. And I've been telling you about the data collection. You think the Guru is just doing his Guru-isms. And I remember this game specifically because he was so odd to me.
Right.
It was so odd because I'm like...
The first matchup is what you're talking about between the Pats and the Chiefs.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm like, dude, Belichick played a cover three like he was Pete Carroll or something. I'm like, he don't freaking do a cover freaking three, dude. Come on, man. Come on, man.
That's it, yeah.
Exactly. But I
got you.
Just part of the coaching situation, but also they did what they did from the entire playoff, man. And my boy, Josh McDaniels, brought out this straight up 21 personnel, straight up. He brought down my man fullback. He's becoming my man of the playoff, man. The unsung hero, man. My man James Devlin. My man James Devlin he was serving pancakes straight up all playoff long, man. Like he worked for freaking IHOP, man. I'm talking about he was serving pancakes to every freaking linebackers, DB. And I'm telling you, every freaking running touchdown the New England Patriots had the entire playoff was going behind number 46, James freaking Devlin. Every single running touchdown. And did you see every game, Sonny Michel, they got over 100-yard rushing.
Yeah, Sonny Michel got 113 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns.
Exactly.
Which, by the way,
the game before that, he got like 120-something with a couple of touchdowns.
And I got to tell you
about that.
He was not this good during the season.
James Devlin.
He was on my fantasy team. I wish James Devlin had stepped up a little bit earlier.
No, they didn't. He's a
Lestro's team would have done a little better.
They saved him.
Bill, help a brother out.
Bill wasn't worried about your fantasy.
I know,
Bill
and that's the problem.
His reality. That's what he was worried about.
And that is the problem,
He's
Guru.
I'm going to save James Devlin because you know what? It's kind of funny, right?
And that's why he'll never work for the Argonauts.
It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. Most of the team, all of those teams, like the Rams, the Saints, the freaking the Chiefs, they all basically just use 11 personnel. They don't have a fullback. They don't even use their fullback. They might not even have a fullback in their roster, man. You know, they might use an extra tight end or so. But the Patriots, because the Chiefs did the same thing the Chargers tried to do. The Chiefs tried to get 3 defensive linemen. Mm-hmm. So then the Patriots counter with that straight up I formation, man. Let's roll up the sleeves. I'm going to just pound you to submission, But then that's what Bob Sutton, the D coordinator, adjusted in the second half. That's why he slowed them. He brought in an extra defensive lineman now. So that's why they stopped them kind of in their running game, and that's when Brady got it picked up with the passing game. But every time Brady saw them in 3 down linemen, every single time, number 46 coming that game, brother, and you see Gronk motion, you know what it is. It's an outside lead play. Old school, high school. I'm talking about the Guru's been going against that since high school, man. See, taking on the fullback, the running back is coming after that.
Yeah.
That's what you learn from 8 years old. He didn't get cute. He didn't get innovative like this, quarterback whisperer. No, he utilized his fullback to straight run to the Super Bowl. Yeah, that's cute.
Just straight up old school power football.
Dude,
he got the GOAT back there.
Did you see the last touchdown in the overtime?
Yeah, well, just the run. Yeah, straight. Yeah.
Did you see? Does anybody touched him?
No.
Did you? You probably didn't see why.
I imagine it was Devlin.
Devlin was serving pancakes.
Serving pancakes.
I'm talking about he was straight hot cakes serving pancakes, man, all day. You know the crazy thing? You saw the pick they threw, and when Brady threw that pick, because Devlin was trying to serve pancake, but Belichick tried to be cute.
Right.
He was like, hold up, man. Devlin's like, you know what? Dude, it's pancake season.
Well, Brady still got out of there with 348 yards. That was not a bad day for Brady. So this game was another one that this was like trading blows back and forth. And in the beginning, they were landing, but there wasn't a lot of scoring in the first half. The Patriots went to halftime with a 14-0 lead. Even through the third, we get through the third quarter, it's only 17-7, and then just all hell breaks loose in the fourth. And Mahomes starts to figure it out. Andy Reid starts to get a read on what Belichick's doing with his defense, starts calling the right plays, and the Chiefs start coming back. And this was impressive to watch. I thought, there's another one where I thought the fix was in somewhere in the second, but I was like, I don't want to say that. The Chiefs are going to beat this anyway. It gets down to it. Once again, Guru, we get down to near the end of the game, and a penalty costs the Chiefs a huge play, gives the Patriots another chance, and they capitalize. Still, again, doesn't matter. Chiefs get the ball back. Mahomes bring it all the way down. But the problem is that they leave Brady 2 minutes on the clock. And everybody everywhere went, that's too much time. Andy, what are you doing?
So Andy was in a catch-22.
Yeah. So then the Brady takes it all the way back down. They score, right, to tie the game up, and it's coming back down, to go ahead, and it's coming back down the field the other way, and I'm watching, they're out of timeouts at one point, and I'm like, all right, here's it, the penalty's got it, and here's where Andy Reid blowing timeouts early is going to cost this game. Didn't. They got to the overtime, and
Mahomes shows why Andy never had a guy like him before, right?
Right, exactly. Mahomes makes it happen. They get that. They tie it up to send it to overtime. The coin flip goes to New England, and that was it, man. We didn't see Mahomes again. This was one of those sidelined. The way to beat them was to not let them get the ball, right?
Yeah, absolutely. This kind of remind me. It's so weird, dude. It's so weird. The way that what Patriots did. If you got to go back in the film, go back to how they played versus the St. Louis Rams in the first Super Bowl.
We're going to talk about that because this is a bookend now with the Rams. This goes all the way back.
It's so funny what Belichick did. You know what I mean? With that same game plan is what he utilized to go against the offense like that because he was a similar offense. But he basically double
high flying. That was the fastest team on turf.
Exactly.
What they call them?
The greatest show on
the greatest show on turf. That was it.
Exactly. So Belichick took the cheater out the game. He double teamed him, obviously. What you would do, take his ass out the game. So now Mahomes likes that big-time play. So you take those big-time play out of him, and now you play, let's play ball, baby. Let's play ball. And we're going to play coverage underneath. We're going to play, in the other side, we're going to play coverage. We're going to double-team cheater, and we're going to play coverage under everybody else. Cheetah, and they didn't respect nobody else.
One pass. He caught one pass in this game. That is a major gap in the Chiefs' offense that just wasn't there. That was taken away. It's not that it wasn't there. It was taken away.
Taken away.
In pure Belichick fashion.
And Kelsey probably had one of his worst games of his career.
Yeah, I heard somebody say earlier that somewhere that Belichick is the kind of guy who doesn't look at what you're bad at and exploit it. He looks at what you're good at and goes the other way. And that is what he did. He took away what you're good at. They always take that away. This week it was the cheetah.
Always.
So then on this one, this was another one where I thought the refs got a little iffy. There was a roughing the passer call that brought it back. I know we're always going to talk about it. We got to bring the conspiracy, keep it alive because fuck the Patriots. But the truth of the matter is, like everybody in the country, when it was 2 minutes and 7 seconds left and they got the ball back, everybody in the country who's ever watched a football game went, oh shit, that's too much time. And I realized then, not only watching him come back and win the game and do all that,
so
Brady is the GOAT. And that's
before you continue that. When you said that statement you just said, everybody in the country knew, oh my God, that alone just made you the GOAT.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's because we've had this discussion. We've had this discussion all the time. And I've always said Joe Montana. I've always said Joe Montana's a GOAT. I know that I know that Brady's got the numbers. I know those things. I think Joe Montana's a GOAT. And I think for me now what it's come down to is if I need one guy to throw one pass, I want Joe. But
one drive?
Yeah, if I got 2 minutes left, I want the ball in Tom Brady's hands. I know the Eagles beat him last year, and that's incredible, and he couldn't do it. But the fact of the matter is that that pass almost got it last year in the Super Bowl. You give Brady any time, he's going to make you pay. And he did again. How do they keep doing this, Guru? Is he just a GOAT?
He's just a GOAT.
Just a GOAT.
There's nothing.
I hate it.
The thing is, there's nothing he hasn't seen defensively. You could be cute in the beginning, but once he figured it out, there's absolutely nothing you could do. And one key thing you got to realize too, man, like just to add just a little footnote, just about the personnel with the Patriots, man. The whole the way they draft, the way they recruit, the way they do all that is kind of unique and different because intellect plays a big role as far as that. Intellect plays a key role. You look at their roster, man, as far as their starters, their entire offensive line, all of them are seniors. They were seniors that graduated college. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not sure if I didn't go as far as the research, but they were 4-year to 5-year
players.
Guys.
Okay, let's
4-year guys,
okay.
4-year to 5-year guys.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what those guys were all were. So that shows me, you know, and the only person that wasn't in the starting lineup, it was Gronk. Gronk came out early as a junior throughout for injury purposes, but Gronk is the only significant starter. Hogan, Edelman, Brady, everyone is a senior. Burkhead, James White. The reason why I say that is for two reasons. One, when you're in school that long, you go through a little bit of challenges. You go through obstacles, right? So that shows you how you know how to persevere and you know how to survive through obstacles. So that's huge as far as that. And also, you go through and what makes you know schemes. So now you become kind of flexible. You can pick up. You know how to pick up plays a little bit quicker. Mm-hmm. So now
seen a lot more of them.
Patriots could change week to week because they have the players, they have the mental capabilities now because of the players they have to be able to really use the type of playbook and skill sets like Josh McDaniels could do and be versatile. That's why you could bring a James Devlin. Mm-hmm. You know, you never see them come in with the fullback personnel. Now all of a sudden, boom, in 2 weeks, that's all they use. You know, because they have that type of intellect and that type of mental capability because that's how they scout and that's how they draft. And and one last thing, and the quarterback position, Bill Belichick only draft 4-year guys at quarterback. He don't get no underclassmen, only 4-year guys at quarterback.
Well, I always say that even 4 years at college, you get a degree. People are looking for a college degree. It doesn't matter what your degree's in. They just want to see that you can complete the program. Mm-hmm. They want to see that you can go through it, and I imagine it's similar. Now, I can't believe I'm saying this when you're talking about intellect guys, but speaking of players, Gronk, you mentioned him, showed back up. We haven't seen a lot of Gronk this year. He's been missing. He's been hurt. The playoffs, he hasn't. Last week he had 1 reception for 25 yards. This week he had 79 yards, 6 receptions, including a big one where he had to go up and get it to keep the drive alive. And if he's going to be back for the Super Bowl in 2 weeks, looking like he did this week and not like he did last week, that's going to be trouble.
No, the crazy thing is, Gronk has been looking amazing. It's not about the reception. Gronk has been the best blocking, freaking tight end. Him and James Devlin. Like I'm talking about, is Gronk coming in motion and they're using that same wham play to the right or to the left, whichever. That's what they use. Right behind Gronk and James freaking Devlin, bro. Amazing. Gronk has been way better than people are looking at because they're looking at the analytics, the numbers. But his numbers is sacrificed because Sony Michel is getting 113 yards. So that's, because of Gronk's blocking and James Devlin. So he's doing way more, which gives the possession, which helps the team longer because Mahomes now is on the sideline.
Right.
So it's
once again, don't give him the ball.
Exactly.
Going to win the game.
It's just the eye on the sky, man. It's just the domino effects of what happens.
All right, so Guru, we are running out of time here in the first segment. We've gone a little bit long talking about these games because we've gone into overtime on these games, if you will, because they were good games. But let's
Send
take
check.
overtime.
Yeah, send that check. Word of sports. Send that check.
I'll take it. That's right. We got time and a half for some of this here, Guru. Get on there, World of Sports Network. So anyway, we want to talk about a little bit of a preview of the game coming up. Before we stop this, now I don't want your pick yet, because I know you got to go back and look at some film. You got to see what they've done before, and we'll talk about this next week when you get into it. I want to know what you're looking for as we're going forward, because this is the matchup the NFL wanted. Not only do we get the bi-coastal matchup with the two big markets, we're also going to get the old school of that Belichick Brady versus first he beats Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes, which is kind of a hybrid mix, and then they're going up against Goff and McVay. This is old versus new. This is that manic Los Angeles pretty boy style versus the New England staid Bill Belichick hoodie look. This is a great sort of storyline matchup. Offensive coach, defensive coach. What are you watching going forward here? What are the storylines?
So the thing I'm looking at is Brady. Every time that Brady has problems in the playoff, it's when he goes against, I call, a Hall of Fame type defensive rusher. I'm talking about the D lineman. You know, when they lost to the Giants, it was the Strahans. You know, he's a Hall of Famer. You know, you remember in the Super Bowl what the Strahans did to him. When they lost to the Broncos with Peyton was Von Miller. So you have to have generational type players to get to Brady. And I'm going to look at that because I think the best Aaron in football could be that generational.
I was going to bring that up. Are we talking about the best Aaron?
The best Aaron in football.
Yeah, Aaron Donald.
Because
now you've been saying for a couple of years that he's the best player in football.
The best player they've been non-quarterback, the best player, including quarterback, the best player in football.
Right.
You know, I had him on my list, the best player in football. And the reason why is because I don't care what scheme you set up. I don't care who you are. You could be the guru of all gurus. You know, when you say hike, and when somebody come right through the freaking middle, that disrupt every single thing you even create. That disrupt everything. That's the easiest way. And this man could do that. So I'm very, very interested to see that matchup. And also, the other matchup I want to see is 21. Who is he going to take over? Because obviously when Akib is in the game, and I'm going on record and saying this, I think 21, you know, in his era, I think 21 is the best man-to-man press corner in his era. In his era. And I think whoever he goes against, we know that we might as well just cancel that out.
Right, but now Bill Belichick knows that and is obviously going to be going back at Marcus Peters, who you said last week would play a big part in this game. How did Peters do, and how does he look going forward against the Pats?
Because of Talib, I think Marcus Peters, whoever they put him will be they could coverage with him. Now they could use any type of coverage. If they could play cover two with him, which that's his strength. He could gamble, do whatever he needed to do. So they could coverage him because you know Talib is gonna, whoever he plays, he got that person. You know, so you could play a little cat and mouse with Marcus Peters, so you won't put him in a vulnerable situation, just like what they did in New Orleans, because now he has help. So if he takes gamble and do all that, somebody's always behind him to take care of him.
All right, so Guru, one last thing here. I'm not gonna ask you who's gonna win this game.
Of course not,
because we're gonna talk about that next week. Plenty of time to look. Plenty of time to get to that next week. What I'm gonna ask you is, can the Rams win this game? Is this over already, or because it's Belichick and Brady?
Of course, the Rams could win this game. You know why? They got Sean McVay, man. They got the boy wonder, the boy genius himself, man. Of course, the Rams could win this game, man. You know, and we got to check who's going to be the refs in that game, too.
Well, that's the other thing. This will be the first time that the refs might actually be working for L.A.
If it's the same ref that was in the Saints game, then I know damn well the Rams got a chance of winning this game.
Because, the NFL wants L.A. to do well. All right, Guru.
Get that ROI, baby.
With that, let's take a quick break. We'll come back with Trash Talk Radio for segment 2. We're going to do the one final look back at the championship games with Guru's call-outs and shout-outs. We're going to talk to Ben Carey for our Bets with Ben segment from Ben Carey of thecurrencykings.com. We're going to end it out on a 2-minute drill. Guru, Trash Talk Radio.
TTR.
Stick around.